Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbanallah wa ni'ma wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum and Juma Mubarak to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. I've seen some of you asking questions. Where is Danny? Where is Danny? I should show Danny's face. I will show Danny. I'll show Danny at the appropriate time. You know, for people like me who get victimized and sometimes who get insulted and all of that, sometimes you don't want to keep the people who work with you and around you. You don't want to put them in that line of fire. Because Danny is a very, very, if you like, is an introvert. So we will show you Danny, but not today, I beg you. So those who are asking for it all over social media, Twitter, everything else, what I want you to do rather today is to share. Share the link. Tell them Johnny's Bite, the people's bite is back. And no form of intimidation will win. Because when you speak the truth and you ask questions, KKD is asking questions. He's been attacked. When you ask a public official question and he doesn't answer the question, but rather says, oh, he used to be a thief. He used to be this. He used to be that. Then you know that they don't have an answer. When they have put an answer before you, you are checking whether the foolscap paper that you are supposed to write your answers on was manufactured today or yesterday, was manufactured in China or Abidjan. Yebisa wasem, yasem nano. Is it true? Is it true? Is it true? Yours is, no, it's false. It's false. It's true. This is. Then you provide the answers. That's how to govern. Because you asked us to be citizens, not spectators. Now we are being citizens. I think that the president now wishes that we were spectators more than we were citizens. Because the way the citizens are asking questions now, the president is beginning. But you see, at the bottom of it all, I think that you are also part of the problem. Oh yes, you are part of the problem. Because majority of you from what I see under the posts that we put out and under the broadcasts that we make, you seem to be in agreement with the things we are saying, but you have social media pages, you come and watch, you come and like, you come and share, but you never make an opinion of your own made. You don't put it out there. And the things we talk about affects you. This week, I've told you about the fact that the Deputy Director General of the Ghana Education Service has gotten a contract extension for the third time. He's 63. Third time. And the teachers tell me that he is the terrorist, in quote, at the Ghana Education Service. For Professor Aputor and the team. He is the one that if you say, Pim, I will transfer you. He's the one that says, Pim, I'll penalize you. The teachers know this. The teacher unions, in fact, wrote to say, Mr. President, we don't like the man. Take him away. You say the president is a listening president. I'm sorry, it's not. The people started talking. 3 teacher unions have written a press statement and have even issued a warning and a threat that if you don't move the man from that place, after some time, when he gives directives, we'll tell our people not to obey. The president is watching, minister is watching, everybody. You say the government is a listening government. Aputor. They don't listen. How is it that somebody has served his country, has gotten contract extension 1, contract extension 1, contract extension 1? Is that agenda 111? Was that agenda 111 we were thinking? He's still at post. Number 2, I've told you how the Comptroller General of the Ghana Immigration Service has also gotten a 2-year contract extension. And I've told you how tension is brewing at the Immigration Service. And how this same particular person, I don't want to go back to the issues. But if you have ever served as a regional commander of an immigration service, and 4 or 5 commanders are going through that ordeal, the painful part they tell me is that if you had been a politician from outside who is not in a uniform, who is doing that to them, they will not have a problem. But this is one of their very own, a uniform man who is treating them like that. So you're a regional commander. Then, so if you don't know the structure, district, then it comes to sector, then it comes to regional, then national. You have moved from district, sector, you have gone to regional, you are going towards national. Then you have moved from regional commander down to sector commander. And your juniors have been promoted to regional commander. And these are regional commanders, some of them who have served for four regions, in 4 different regions. Some who have 12 years experience as regional commander. You have put in there, I said there's tension in the immigration service. And you know what that means? That has impact on tourism. That has impact on migration. That has impact on policing our borders. It breaks the morale of the people. The president, you say, listens. He doesn't listen. Oliver, show me the picture of the immigration service boss. I told you, 2 retirees. And within the Ghana Education Service, when I started talking about it, they were mentioning the director for Volta region, the director for Central region. Too many of them are retired, but they are there. And you know the painful part? People who have retired are still at posts, while people who are young and have been appointed are marking time, left, right at the door. They can't find seats to work. And you say the president listens. He doesn't listen. The president is not listening. Because in a country where you have more young people unemployed and old people are getting contract extensions, you ask yourself, where is our God? Look, just when we're trying to digest this and to think or understand whether or not the president will do anything about it, there's an official from the Social Security National Insurance Trust, SNIT. Listen to it in the nomenclature. Social Security National Insurance Trust. That pull that website for me. Oliver, work with me quickly. Even before we settle down on whether or not the retirees should go back and maybe become consultants so that young people can get their day. We have an official telling us that, look at the ridiculous headline. Pension reform. SNIT wants Ghanaians to retire at 65. You chop. You start chop. You won't chop again. You have retired at 60. Now you are making a proposal that you should retire at 65. And it is only young people who are chopping now who say, oh, Johnny Akufo-Addo. It's only young people who are chopping now who say Johnny Akufo-Addo. Read the story. Chief Actuary at the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, Joseph Poku, has called for an increment in the statutory retirement age from 60 to 65 years to sustain contributions to the fund. He said there was an increasing benefit payouts due to number of workers retiring, adding that the increment would help SNIT accrue adequate funds as contributors stayed longer on the scheme. There is currently advancement in medicine and overall well-being, making it possible for people to live longer and stronger. The retirement age should be increased gradually to 65 years. By so doing, we can accumulate more funds which can be used to sustainably fund payments. Number 1 concern. SNIT, where were you when the presidency and the board chair of the audit service was pushing out Mr. Domelovo? Where were you? I am asking you, where were you, SNIT, you? Where were you? Where were you when the presidency was writing and pushing out Domelovo and bringing out his baptismal certificates? Where were you? Where were you when Mr. Sumedu was forging his date of birth and getting contract extension? Where were you? You see, I've always had concerns about you people. And I'll say it today because it's been on my chest for a long time. You see how the insurance companies send their agents to come and beg people to sign on to policies? You don't go through that stress. Yours is deduction by law. So whether you work or you don't work, you will be paid. Whether it's deducted or not, you will be paid. Whether you make sure that somebody's contract, somebody's pension is worked out. And I've seen people in the banking halls. My brother works in the banking hall. I started saving at the Agricultural Development Bank when I was 16. I still keep that account. And I know people have been checking the account to think that I've been putting money into it. It's my salary account. Shame on you. Go and find some proper work and do. Me, you find that on me. Because me, I won't come and beg you for anything. When I was a child, 4 years, 3 years, I used to take club sandwich to school, made from home. They used to drive me in PS5 with the flag in front of it, the motorcade. So if today you have come from your village and you are now chopping and you think that we are all hungry, we don't eat with both hands. Oh. We don't eat with both hands. We don't eat with both hands. We have eaten before. We are still eating. Honest living. Now I'm saying that back in the day, when these questions are being, you see, the insurance companies send people to go and solicit for people to sign on to their schemes. And you see how they suffer. Sometimes they come 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Oh, life policy, oh, funeral policy, oh, this. You snitch, you don't go through that stress. When we give you the money, how do you invest the money? Let's do an assessment of the monies that you have collected from us as snitch pension, contributions. And let's go and check all the investment that you have put in. Why? Should we start from Lapam? Or should we go to, what do you call it, what is it called? The place around the National Theatre, British Council, what do you call it? World Trade Center. How have you run the places that have been given to you? And you are running them with our money. If I give you my money to invest so that in future you give me dividends, how are you managing it? Now you are saying that people are retiring too fast. Did you not know? Did we not know? Now you are telling us that at 65, we should be retiring when people are retiring at 55 in other countries. Your young people cannot find jobs. And even before we finish talking about contract extensions, you are busy telling us to extend the age of serving your nation. The young people who have not entered yet, when will they wait till somebody retires at 65 before they get in? And our Minister for Employment and Labor Relations is quiet. He's waiting for the next strike so he can go and negotiate. You have to be very serious in this country. Oh. We have to be very serious in this country. Because the tears of the underground are becoming far too many. The pain of the underground are becoming far too many. And the painful part is that the government is not interested in solving the problem. Oh. The government is interested in breaking the 8. They have forgotten that the dollar has broken the 8 already. It is heading towards Agenda 111. The president in commissioning a national project, finishing and saying, don't vote for NDC, don't vote for NDC. He's sounding more like an opposition leader than the president who should be bringing us to the center at this time. The president should be sounding like a president. Elections are in 2024, 2 years and more on. He is still doing campaign when the people are in pain and suffering. Meanwhile, he came to beg us, Ghana for Masremu sa opposition leader Simami Sremu. Na say enya sra na mesrebu, enya sra na mesrebu. What sra will be the president? Ugusu sra ma echrimba. Oliver, play the song for me, Morgan Heritage. Let God wipe away our tears. Because even the president said we should give the country to God to rule.